DMS 51412.
Hi, I'm Paul. We're going to be restoring them back to their former glory.
And I'm Johnny, and welcome to Destination DMU.
So, welcome back to another exciting episode. We have got a lot for you today. I've had to even write up a sheet to plan it. That's how good it's going to be, trust me. We've got a lot of work to do. A few things we're going to be doing off camera, just to let you know. I'm going to finish off this panel, but you've obviously seen me do that, so I don't want to bore you with that anymore. But we have also, I've got roof cut out after that, because it's to help us investigate the framework underneath. To do that, we have to really cut it out, and it also means that we can give that some TLC as well, because the amount of rust and everything else in there is really quite bad. So then Scott's going to do that, but he'll tell you more about that later on. But apart from that, my job today is going to be going down to the other panel that I've just ripped up and taking some framework out of that that I said I would do, because we are now, it will be very quick progress getting there now because we've done the big major jobs. So I'm preparing for that new panel to come in.
Right guys, and today my plan for today, for me, is to do little patches, not in the shot unfortunately, but just little bits and pieces here where there might be some old filler or something, just because we don't want to paint bubbling in the future, we want to reduce that risk as much as possible. So I'm just going to sort out the last little bits of corrosion in places. They're only very small, but just little fiddly jobs that we want to get done. So yeah, I'll be showing you that.
So you see me up here on the roof. What I'm going to do is, I said that I'd cut out the top, basically just the very bottom of the roof. As you can see here, basically what we're doing is just to expose the framework underneath, such as this, so that we can ascertain whether we need to replace it. Of course, it's all rusty, most of it, because these things tend to leak here due to the way which they're designed, which is why we weld the roof to the body side, which is the bodywork, is to try and prevent as much of that water ingress as possible, because the gutter goes there, mastic goes in behind the gutter and it seals a gap, but it only seals it for so long, and when it goes, water gets in and it goes. It just does go. So we're going to try and prevent that, and that's why we've been welding the body side to the roof. But what you're about to see me here do is mark out and continue cutting out at that height that we've done, just so that we can get in there, we can get a wire wheel in there, we can deal with any rust to stop it from, propagating in the future and getting worse. So you're going to see me do that next, so enjoy. So, just seen that, boy, oh boy, just gonna pat you around, because this is why you should do this, because some of the things that you cannot see and you wouldn't even know about, not good. Here we are. You can see now we've got lovely amounts of rust. You can see from where we've treated that, we've managed to get a good coat of paint on it, and these things can be treatable, but you look at some of this. Just all of that, is under there, and you wouldn't know about it until you start hitting it with a crowbar and it starts coming off. And you see this framework here, the bottom of it is shot. This one isn't too bad, that one has held up fairly well, and you can see also that they basically just somehow screwed it together. So we're going to do a better job than that. We now know that we've got a little bit to replace in here. That is very helpful for us, because we would never have known that, because really the roof, I didn't look in too bad condition really, considering, but there is that nasty hiding underneath it, which is why we do this, because it just simply has to be done. So yeah, always more work, eh? But no, that's good. The fact we've done it and we found what we thought was there, that's good. So we can now deal with it. Very simply, we can deal with it. So yeah, in a future episode, you're going to see us, fix that, because that's not acceptable. the structural integrity of it, you know, it's, God knows for how long it has actually been gone. You know, it's holding the roof up, but for how much longer if we left it? So we are, in a future episode, we will do a framework repair on that, and to do that we're going to cut out a bit more of the roof there, because we've discovered there's something nasty there. Now we need a little bit more room to access it, to get in there and really do a proper job on it, which is what we're doing as we come along here. And depending after, because Scott's going to wire wheel everything you see, it does look a lot better after as well, because you get rid of all of the stuff that really is causing the problems. And we will see after then what other things we might need to do, because we might need to replace a bit of cant rail. We don't know. This is exactly why we do this, because it is so important. You think of maybe all the units that look just, you know, fine. You know, you put a stick of paint over that roof, you wouldn't know. You think of all of the units out there that could have things like that underneath it. That's why we're doing this along the entire length of the DMU on both sides, because you just never know what's there until you get access to it. So more work for us, I guess, but that's, you know, it's obviously not good that we found more work, but it's good because we would have left that, so we're now not going to leave that. We're going to do a proper job, and so yeah, it's, you know, it's good. So stay tuned to the channel, you know, subscribe if you're enjoying it. Anyway, Scott will see you next, I imagine, or maybe Michael. Someone will see you next to show you what they're doing. But this is going to get interesting in future episodes, so hope you enjoy them. Right, so I was wrong. Scott isn't going to do the wire wheeling. It's over to Michael.
Right guys, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to do the wire wheeling instead, as Scott is doing the painting. So yeah, basically, I'll try and pan you around. So all of this, just going to wire wheel it back so we can really see what the problem is we've got here. I mean, I definitely think the cant rail is savable, but she needs to have the hammer test still. But yeah, as for that, cue the time lapse and then you can see it all unfold. Right guys, so now it's all been wire wheeled. As you can see, it's a little bit corroded, but it's still got nice strength in it. There is a bit that is going to have to go here, that'll be replaced. The usual thing is the top hat section to rot out first. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do now is put the Furtan rust converter, or the soy sauce, on the cant rail. Let that do its thing, and then the next bit will probably be chop out the affected areas, weld in the new bit, and then move on to the next. Recover it, paint it, etc., and then we're all good to go.
So what you're going to see next, you're going to see me cut out the patches. I'm not been working anywhere near here. I'm just trying to get away from the noise, so hopefully you can hear me. That was the job that originally we were planning that Michael was going to do, but Michael's done some of my jobs, I'm doing some of his. It's all going to work out good in the end. So basically, very simply, I've just got there's only one patch left, because while we were busy filming other things, Michael started off the job. I moved the scaffold along now to finish off the job, and then what I'll do is off camera I will cut out little metal patches to go back in what is taken out. So yeah, and then you'll see Michael weld in them and get them all looking acceptable. So I'll see you there.
Today I am stripping this old bitumen paint off the panels, ready for wire wheeling, then the famous soy sauce.
framework from last time when I touched it with some anti-corrosive black paint, and it should be ready for some new panel work.
So finally, I'm now at the framework where Scott has done the anti-corrosive, black anti-corrosive primer, because I've got to cut out the old, basically the stuff we've decided is going because it's just too far gone, not savable, and you know, not safe to really have it in. So I'm going to do that next. So it's going to be a simple time lapse of me cutting that out. So I hope you're enjoying the episode so far, and enjoy. Right, so now you see me cut out this framework. I'm just going to rip it out. It's already ready to go. So it's going to take a lot.
Right guys, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be wire wheeling the inside of this. Now it's had the worst of the crud chipped off of it. I wire wheel it back so it's nice and smooth. Then Scott's going to soy sauce it, and then after that, once that's all dried, we'll be ready for anti-corrosive black. Now, this panel is done, as you can see. We even had a little hoover up because it was a drastic mess down on the floor. Lots of crud removed, and now it's all ready to be soy sauced. I'll crack on with that, and then once that's done, it can be painted later on.
Update video on the framework I cut out. I basically just trimmed away all of the fat, as it were. I trimmed away all of the stuff that we don't need, we don't want, it's rusted, horrible, and I kept that centre bit because that's still good. And here it is. There she is, looking nice. That was the side that was soy sauce. This had a buffer section on it, which they put wood on. They used to use it to widen it out so that they could then put the wood on. I've taken that off, I've given it a wire wheel, and it will get soy sauced, painted in anti-corrosive black and then tar paint, and you will next see it when it gets fitted back onto the panel. It's a very good piece of framework, so we are going to reuse it. It's still very strong, very sturdy, so yeah, but you will see it when we do the framework on the other panel, which it may be in the next episode. So just a little update on that.
Right guys, so what I'm now about to do is weld in those patches like I discussed earlier. Sorry if it's a bit noisy around here. Johnny and Scott are going at it like crazy on the grinders. But yeah, there's a little patch here that needs to go in, and a little patch here which needs to go in. So I'm going to get them in and then grind them flush, and then they can be painted, and then that's more filler and rubbish gone from the bodywork. So cue the time lapse. Right guys, so now I've finished the welding, as you've probably seen in the time lapse. There's a finished product. And down here we are. So yeah, good session. They've come up really nicely. So yeah, they'll get pea green later on, and that's the end of that. Right guys, so today is now almost over, and yeah, so we've completed and achieved quite a lot today. The little niggles and bits that I told you about, they're all sorted now, so there's no filler there. Nice new metal again. There's been more bump stops and bits wire wheel just to finish off. The doors have all been done quite nicely as well, as you can see here maybe. On the inside they've had a second coat. Scott has also done on the inside of the doors over there, as you'll see in the pictures later. These inner bits, which are all crusty and horrible at the minute, but he's wire wheeled them back to bare, and they've had a coat of etch primer as well. So yeah, it's come along, lots of small jobs, but we've made lots of progress today, and she's certainly looking a lot better for it.
And with those bottom of the doors, we basically did that today off camera. Trial run at it really, it's got plenty of doors, as I'm sure you're aware, and you will see that in a future episode at some point. Also, up there, as you can see, we've taken a little bit more roof out. We've discovered some horrible nasties that really need to be taken out, dealt with, and the framework needs to be put back in the right position, and we will assess what we need to do with that. Got that in soy sauce, got it all wire wheeled. Apart from that, the panel you see over there and the panel next to it, we have now got that stripped. Paul did a great job in stripping them. We got them all in soy sauce. But apart from that as well, we've got down the end, Scott painted that panel that we ripped out in anti-corrosive black. So, and then I ripped out the framework, and I have now isolated that bit that we're going to keep. And next episode, most likely, I'm not going to make any promises yet, I will put in some more framework there and get that a little bit closer to being ready. But apart from all of that, 62% of you roughly aren't subscribed. So if you've watched up to this point, please, if you're enjoying it, please subscribe. If you know anybody that you think will be inspired by this, or you know will enjoy watching it, please share. If you like it, like the video. Okay, it all helps us, because we're trying to inspire a younger generation into our hobby and our passion, and because we feel that for it to survive, we need to do that. So 62% of you aren't subscribed. So, you know, if you aren't subscribed, honestly, if you're liking the content so far, it's going to get better. So please subscribe. And apart from that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and we will see you in the next episode.